Magic Turtle 643 here, your source for Magical Turtle 643 days out of the year, and this is The Orange Show. Like all of you, I've seen a lot of people die. Not in real life, of course, unless some of those failed GIFs I saw were more serious than they seemed, but I'm talking about in fiction, movies, books, you name it. The sad truth is, we humans love to see people die. Not because we're sadistic, but because it's powerful, it's a meaningful scene. We love to be moved by it, sad by it, disturbed by it. We love to cozy up to this thing that we're all gonna have to face eventually. Not to desensitize ourselves to it, I don't think, but more to see all the hypothetical ways that there are to go. It's sort of a, how would I cope with this kind of thing? Like, how would I cope if my aunt fell off of a roof onto a trampoline and then bounced up into a wayward frisbee that had a landmine on it. I know it might seem like this video is starting to go in a depressing direction, but trust me, this isn't the video going in a depressing direction. Wait till I post the vlog of me driving back to my hometown in Illinois, heyo! But in case this video is depressing you and getting you down, let me lighten the mood a little bit with video effects to keep things colorful and chipper. Okay, can we turn off this sickening cutesy music, please? Thanks, me editing this an hour later. I'm annoyed that you put the music track so loud, but I get why you waited so long to turn it off, for the comedic value of the joke. You know, you and I think alike me editing this an hour from now, but that doesn't mean I have to like you, because you're such an old fart. An hour older fart. Speaking of hour old farts... Okay, now see, that one smells exactly the same. I guess it doesn't matter how long it's been in there. Sorry, I'm conducting an experiment on how far off topic I can take a video without getting a thumbs down. Remember, the cool kids give thumbs up ironically. Anyway, on the topic of death, regardless of why people love to write about death and like to watch it happen, I think there are some rules that people need to follow to keep fictitious deaths from being unnecessary. Death can be heart-wrenching and meaningful, but it can also be hilarious if treated properly. Here are the rules of death in fiction that I think everybody needs to know, including the viewers of the death, because you need to know whether or not you're supposed to be having any variety of feels about the character dying on screen, or whether or not you're just sadistic. Number one, don't kill a character just because you have some interesting way to make them die. This is especially true for films. Don't make a character die just because you have some cool, gory special effect. This makes you seem like a psychopath. Also, just way too lazy to actually make the death meaningful or necessary to the plot. I know you think it would be cool if a character got shot full of ninja stars right down the length of his spine and then fell face forward into a campfire, but let's not get carried away here. For the record, I was talking to me 10 years ago writing a dumb fantasy story. Rule number two, don't kill a pathetic character who already had it rough in the story. If a character has already suffered a lot of abuse, it just seems perverse to have all that culminate into his or her ultimate demise. To find an example of this, we're going to consult the Orange Notebook, which has every bit of information about everything ever. We're going to ask it, what's the lamest movie death of all time? Spoiler alert, oh look, it's X-Men 3, the time where Cyclops dies by kissing Jean Grey on the mouth, turning into some weird bubbly gelatinous goo, and then exploding. All after spending the whole first part of the movie crying and being whiny and sad about something. Lame, pathetic death, stupid. Also just bad movie. Finally, rule number three, the most obvious but also the most important one. The death must always serve a purpose. They shouldn't be laughing at the death unless it's a black comedy. If it's like a murder mystery or a crime comedy and the character is already evil and they die, that can be funny. Who cares if they die? It's not a big deal. And any movie that uses the Wilhelm scream when a character dies, it's gonna be funny every time. Oh, and bonus rule number four, don't ever kill animals. And to be sure that we have the whole life and death thing down, I'm gonna take a drink from the orange mug, which always has a magical potion that pertains to the episode. And today, it has the elixir of life in it. Turns out the elixir of life just makes you more afraid of dying. Now, of course, rules are meant to be broken, so all of these rules probably have exceptions to them. They're just ideas to kick around in your head and make you feel guilty next time you laugh at violence. As you may have noticed, I introduced two props to the Orange Show, which I'm hopefully going to include in some way in every episode from now on, and I'm also going to do a segment at the end of the show that I'm starting now, which I'm going to call What I'm Working On, where I just tell you what creative project I'm currently working on right now. Currently, I'm taking part in the Spin Tunes songwriting competition, which I've done before. You can find out more information at spintunes.blogspot.com, and this is the song that I submitted for the first round. Here's a little excerpt. Our bones bending like bars. Now I can't see through darkness. And that's it for this episode of The Orange Show. Don't forget, if you ever die, you'll never be there again.